It was last semester, whereas my teacher had gave all the students an assignment in class for my social work and sociology classes that we were to go out and buy a baby doll. And the assignment was to raise the doll as you would a real baby. And so I had decided that I was going to go online and find a baby doll that I felt would be unique to me and to the class. What I saw online wasn't what I got in the mail. I noticed that immediately after I got the doll, that's when started to hear like strange noises. The doll, you're supposed to squeeze it and it talks, it speaks. But then I started noticing that it just speaks on its own. The thing about the doll was that I was hearing, the doll just started to speak, of its own accord, even though there was no one around it. There was this one incident whereas I was just sitting at my desk, working on, doing homework like I normally do, and I noticed that the doll would just start to speak, and it would just speak on its own. Nobody touched it. It just started to talk on its own. And I just, figured that, I'm just hearing things, or maybe the doll just got a few kinks in it. No big deal, so I ignored it. But as time went on, I started noticing that now there's other sounds, there's other noises throughout the house, whereas, I'm hearing voices, noises. It even gets to the point whereas I see things in the corner of my eyes. And the worst part about it is that I would even notice that the doll will move. Whereas one moment, I set the doll over here to the side. I look away, I look back, and I notice that the doll is gone. And then when I look this way, I notice that the doll is over here. And I'm like, oh, okay, there's something seriously wrong. Or maybe I just, at first I was just telling myself, oh, well, maybe I left it over here and didn't leave it over there. That's just something I would tell myself. There were times where I felt that, I should send the doll back, but I had already purchased it, and well, my teacher already saw it, and I gotta stick with the assignment. I gotta stick with that same doll throughout the entire semester. So I decided, okay, well, I'm gonna keep this doll, and right now I'm looking at a good A, because if I was to buy a new doll, that would just take my score back down to 0, and I really didn't want that. So I decided that I was gonna keep the doll, and I just told myself that, it's just, strange coincidence. At one point, it got to the point whereas I wasn't even concerned about the assignment. I just said, hey, look, what, screw this. I can't keep this thing. I can't keep this doll. So what I would do is I would even go out into the woods. I would just go out to some other neighborhood. I would drop the doll off. I even put it in the garbage can. Just throw away, just get rid of it. Say, what, forget it. I don't want to be bothered with this thing anymore. And upon coming back in the house, I will, come in. I would actually walk into the house and I would see the doll just there. Just, it beat me back to the house. And it's like, oh, this doll really is cursed. And the worst part about it is that I just simply can't get rid of it. This doll is cursed and it's just latched on to me, because unfortunately, I am the owner or something. I don't know. The doll is cursed, now I'm cursed. My presentation day, That's when my teacher asked could she, keep the doll, that I would sell it to her to keep in the archive somewhere at school, I don't know. And I was like, this, you don't want to do that. But I wanted to get rid of the doll. And so I was like, okay, well, here, I'll just give it to you. Like, no, don't give it to me. You gotta sell it to me. I'm like, oh, maybe that's what I have to do in order to get rid of this doll. I started to sell it to her for 50 cents. And even then, I thought that was too much money. And she was like, no, she'll take it for $10. And I said, okay, $10, okay. She took the doll. She put it, I don't know, somewhere in the library somewhere, next to some trophies and awards somewhere. I don't know. Don't care. But I do know that upon getting rid of that doll, that's when all the hunting stopped. It just immediately, it just went away. It's like everything went. When that doll left, it left. Everything. It was like my life is now back to normal. Now that doll is sitting in school somewhere, I think in the library, somewhere just behind glass, next to awards and trophies, waiting for pretty much its next victim. Now, whether that doll was worth a good grade or not, in my opinion, no.